Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about why I believe right now to be one of the best times in all of 2018 to be buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I'm not just saying that to clickbait you guys, by the way. I do genuinely believe that these price levels at this time of the year, and based on these technicals I'm going to be showing you in today's video, do actually make a very strong case for why we should be buying Bitcoin right now and why we should be accumulating for the long term. I want to make that very clear at the outset of the video. I'm not talking about buying Bitcoin for the next 48 hours. I'm not talking about buying Bitcoin for the next 2 weeks, not for the next 2 months. I'm talking about if you're looking to invest in Bitcoin and you're looking to hold Bitcoin on into the next bull run, I think this is one of the best times to be doing it, and we're going to be talking about why in today's video. But before we get into today's video, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing the notification bell, guys. It does help out the channel, so I would appreciate if you did it. But let's get right into it. Bitcoin is currently trading at around $7,280. And the first thing I want to talk about here is Bitcoin's price action, because of course that's what we're here to look at. We want to look at Bitcoin's price action, and what is one of the most obvious things that we see on Bitcoin's chart right here? What is one of the most obvious things that we can see here? Well, the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at this chart is that Bitcoin has come down to this same exact level, down here around $6,000 4 times. We've seen Bitcoin come down here once, twice, thrice, force. We've seen Bitcoin come down to $6,000 4 times, and nary a time has it actually secured a break of it. We've never actually seen Bitcoin go below that level and stay below that level. We've never seen a confirmed breakout below support at $6,000. And that's a very interesting thing, because a lot of people, including myself, were kind of expecting for Bitcoin to break it here on this 4th attempt, because when you see a level of support get support 3 times, a lot of the time the market isn't so nice to give you a 4th level of support. But now that we've seen Bitcoin actually get support down here a 4th time and confirm that $6,000 is indeed as strong as we hope it is, that's a very important piece of market structure, even more so than it was 2 months ago before we had this 4th bounce down here and before we had this 3rd bounce down here. The fact that Bitcoin has come down to $6,000 and stayed above $6,000 is a very, very interesting thing, and it is a very, very bullish thing, and there's a lot of reasons why. The first one has to do with the 2014 and 2015 bear market, and I'm going to go ahead and put my cards out on the table right off the bat. I'm going to tell you where I think we are in relation, if we were to reference where we are in the 2014-15 bear market to this bear market, I'll tell you where I think we are. I think we're somewhere around here. I think Bitcoin at this point in time, since we have gotten 4 bottoms at $6,000, and $6,000 has proven to be a very strong level of support for various different reasons. You have institutions buying, you have people longing with a lot of leverage, you have mining companies probably coming in and propping up the price so that they can continue to stay profitable. You have a lot of reasons why $6,000 is holding, but the fact of the matter is, my opinion anyway, says that I believe Bitcoin is basically having this little moment down here, which we saw in 2015 when Bitcoin came down here and bottomed out at $180. Wouldn't it have been nice if we could have bought Bitcoin at $180 and rid it up to the all-time high? Are we going to make the same mistake again? I don't know. Maybe we won't after we watch this video. But anyway, I do believe that what we're looking at right now is Bitcoin actually setting a permanent bottom down here in the same way we did back over here when we set about 2 to 4 bottoms, depending on how you call them, back over here at $180. Because what we saw right here is Bitcoin came down here, we got 2 bottoms, we had a very strong confirmation of 180, about 160 to about $200, somewhere in that region, a little zone of support that we saw right here. We had a very strong level of support down here, and Bitcoin from there actually came up and managed to start a new uptrend. But we saw Bitcoin come down here and confirm this level of support several different times. We saw Bitcoin trading around here a lot. It traded sideways in what you may call an accumulation period. And for the last month or so, I believe that's what we've started. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Bitcoin is probably going to take this rally, and with maybe a 55% certainty, I'm not too certain on this, we're probably going to start a bull run from here. The other 45% likelihood, maybe about 30% of that, I'm expecting that Bitcoin is going to be trading sideways for the next couple of months. That's what I think is probably going to happen, is that Bitcoin is going to either start a bull run from here, or we're going to be trading sideways for the next couple of months. And what I think is going to happen if we do trade sideways for the next couple of months is that we're basically sitting in this zone right down here, where Bitcoin has actually set its permanent bottom down here around $180 in this case, or $6,000 in our case. And there's a lot of reasons I believe that. One of them has to do with what I like to call the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin. I've talked about this a couple of different times on the channel, but I'm going to talk about it again because it's very pertinent to this video. There's something that I like to talk about with Bitcoin. That underlying intrinsic value is a very important concept when I'm doing my technical analysis, and I normally explain it like this. I draw a little chart. What we see with Bitcoin in 2018 is that price action, P, is going down. We're seeing price action going down. We're seeing prices drop. But what are we also seeing happening in the background with Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market? we're seeing all of the good things, all of the underlying things, everything that is not attached to price action going up. The hash rate is going up. The development is going well. We're seeing a lot more awareness spread about Bitcoin than we were in 2016. Not so much in 2017. Of course, 2017, we had a massive hype cycle. But a lot more people are aware of Bitcoin now than they were in the same time last year before we had the massive run-up here in November and December. So the awareness has continued to rise. And guys, one thing you have to remember is that people aren't just going to forget Bitcoin. There are a lot of people that are going to, but the thing about awareness is that's a much more fluid thing. We're going to see a lot more awareness come back later on. But another thing that we've seen is we've seen the development continue to rise. We've seen the awareness continue to rise, although not that much. But we've also seen regulatory clarity continue to rise. We have a lot more precedent now based on futures contracts, based on how the SEC is going to determine how we're going to actually proceed with Bitcoin ETFs. We have a lot more precedent. We have a lot more legal framework now than we did 8 months ago when this bear market started, 9 months ago, 9.5 months ago, whatever you want to call it. The space is overall much more developed. We see a lot of companies getting a lot bigger. We see a lot of companies developing their own structures for how they're going to handle the next bull market because everybody knows it's coming. The only question is when it's coming. So the fact of the matter is, well, not the fact of the matter, my opinion anyway, is that while price action is going down, what we've seen in the background happen is that the development of the space has continued to rise. The space has continued to mature. We've seen a lot of background development in things such as Lightning Network. Lightning Network was merely an idea a year ago. It is now actually a fluid thing. We do actually have Lightning Network. We have things like Schnorr signatures being worked on. SegWit's been passed. We have a lot of different developments going on in the background to actually beef up Bitcoin's underlying intrinsic value. And while price action is going down and Bitcoin's value is going up, what does that mean for the next bull run, guys? Well, Bitcoin went to $20,000 with 9 months less development than we have now, and it's going to take probably at least 4 or 5 months to get back to all-time high, right? And that development is going to continue in that time. And one thing we also have to keep in mind is that when Bitcoin goes on another bull run, it's still a very young and volatile space. The next bull run is going to be huge in the same way 2017 was, guys. These kind of levels, this kind of rally that we saw, this kind of bull run where Bitcoin started the year at $1,000 and went to $20,000, that kind of thing is going to happen again. Maybe not a 20x in a year because that would be an insane amount of value, but we are going to see a lot of volatility come back into the market. And with that volatility, the actual hype is going to come back into the market and the awareness is going to come back into the market. And the same kind of insane media crap storm that we saw in 2017 is going to happen again. A lot of people are going to get very excited about Bitcoin again, but this time, when it happens, Bitcoin is going to be starting at a lower price level than it was back over here when it actually started this run up around like $8,000 or so. We have a good time to buy in right now. And also, Bitcoin is going to have the underlying intrinsic value to back up a lot more of that valuation when we're pushing back up to these levels above, up to and above $20,000. Because at the time right now, guys, I think we're either very close to or we're below the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin. That kind of thing, that concept is not something that you can measure. It's something that you kind of have to feel out with your gut. And what my gut is telling me is that we are under that and that Bitcoin is undervalued right now and that we are going to see a return to its actual proper valuation and above its valuation in the next bull run coming in the next couple of months. One thing I also want to point out is that Bitcoin has held its value quite a lot better than the rest of the altcoins have. We come to a website called ATH Coin Index. You can type that into Google and you'll find it yourself. You can sort a lot of cryptocurrencies. I believe this sorts the top 50 cryptocurrencies by their retracement from all-time high. If you sort by change from ATH, what we're going to see is some of these smaller cryptocurrencies are up here. But of the top 50 cryptocurrencies, not including Tether, there are only 3 above Bitcoin that have retraced less than Bitcoin. One of them is Binance Coin, and that's because Binance has gotten very, very big during the bear market. It wasn't as big when 2017 was happening. It wasn't as big in 2017, I should say. But what we see right here is that Bitcoin's only down by about 63% from all-time high. Where are the other altcoins? Where's the other top 5 altcoins? Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and EOS. Where are those altcoins? Well, EOS is down 71%. We see Bitcoin Cash is down 85%. XRP is down 91%. XRP is down 91%, guys. Do you remember all the articles telling you to buy XRP at $3.40? Because I had some family members telling me to buy XRP at $3.30 or whatever the all-time high was. No, you don't want to do that. A lot of these altcoins are down a lot more than Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is down 63%, and that seems like a lot. But when you compare it to EOS and Ethereum, Ethereum is a very, very solid project, and it's down 80% from all-time high. when you compare Bitcoin's retracement from all-time high to other large cap deserving altcoins that do deserve to be in the top 5, these 4 other altcoins do deserve to have the valuations that they do, or at least a valuation in the top 10, maybe not top 5. A lot of these other altcoins do deserve to be up here, but they've retraced so much more than Bitcoin has. And why has that happened? Well, it's happened for many different reasons. It's happened because Bitcoin is top dog. Bitcoin is number one. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. Bitcoin founded the entire space, and Bitcoin has more underlying intrinsic value than the rest of these altcoins, period. Bitcoin has held its value in a much, much better way than the rest of these altcoins have, and that's a telling thing, because what that tells you is that Bitcoin does actually deserve some of the valuation that it has right now. It does mean that it did deserve some of this run-up, some of this valuation that it had during the run-up to $20,000, because Bitcoin's trading down here, it went all the way down to about $6,000. XRP went down to like 25 cents from $3.30, guys. That was like a 93% retracement. Bitcoin saw none of that. Bitcoin has a much stronger underlying intrinsic value than these altcoins do. And I do believe if we were to chart the underlying intrinsic value, it would be north of where the price action is right now. And if you know anything about markets, what you're going to find is that markets like to move back up to levels where they actually belong. If you see gold trading at $10 a pound, then you know that it's under its underlying intrinsic value. Let's make an exaggerated example so that we can make our point. If you see platinum trading at 10 cents a pound, you know it's way cheaper than it should be. If you see Apple stock trading at $1, you know it's way lower than it should be. And right now, Bitcoin is not such an extreme example as that, but Bitcoin is trading 63% down from its all-time high. Some of this valuation in the all-time high was deserved, and the same hype that built this all-time high is going to come back in a big way in the next bull run. So what does all this mean? What does all this mean for investing and trading in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and where are the technicals in all this? Well, let's get into that. What this means is that right now, in my opinion anyway, is a very, very good time to be buying Bitcoin, because we're not that far away from the all-time low of around $5,750. We're not that far away from it, guys. You don't want to try and call the bottom perfectly, because especially if you're a newer trader, you're going to end up missing the entire bottom entirely and then watching the rally happening and missing it. I know that's exactly what happened to me, guys. I'll go ahead and give you my story. I got into Bitcoin back over here on the last day of July in 2017. I've actually only been in the market a little over a year. A lot of people think I've been in the market quite a bit longer than that. I just study the markets every single day, so people think I know more than people think that I've been in the market longer. But I'll tell you what happened to me. I should have bought Bitcoin back down here sub $3,000. I've seen a $2,800 Bitcoin, which that seems like I'm very new to a lot of people, but to a lot of people I've been here for a while. And I missed out on a very, very large run, about a 600% run, however, whatever the math is. You don't want to do that again. Because while that doesn't pain me all that much, because I know how to make money without a bull run, it does pain me to think that, okay, well, if I had just put $100 into Bitcoin, if I had just put $1,000 into Bitcoin, I could have made 600% doing absolutely freaking nothing because a bull run came. And guys, that's the mistake I don't want you guys to make, is to wait for a bull run to come. You get, say, quote unquote, confirmation of a Bitcoin bull run coming, like it going past all-time high, and then you already missed half of the run. Because if you bought Bitcoin right now instead of at $20,000 and then waited for Bitcoin to go to the new all-time high of, say, $40,000, you would have made substantially more money, guys. The time to be buying Bitcoin and any asset really is when people are scared. And I'll tell you when the last time I saw people this scared that we saw Bitcoin, that we saw down here and also down here. I'll tell you when the last time I saw people this scared of the Bitcoin market. Never. That's when. I wasn't in the market in 2014, so I didn't see this. What I did see, though, is that people were freaking out down here, but nevertheless, Bitcoin did start a new rally, and Bitcoin, I think, can start a new bull run from here. I do think that the new run is coming, and I do think it's going to be bigger than anything that we've ever seen before. And I do think if you are in the market right now, because if you are, if you're watching this video, then you definitely know about Bitcoin, and you're not buying a long-term investing portfolio, I think you are making a very, very big mistake. Does that mean I'm telling you to go buy Bitcoin right now? No, I'm absolutely not. That is a very personal decision, and I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell or long or short or do anything of the such. But what I will tell you to do is to consider my position on this, that I believe right now to be a good time to be buying Bitcoin. That is at least my opinion. Let me show you some technical reasons why I believe that also, because there are, of course, some. One thing I want to point out is the 200 daily moving average, which is currently sitting at around $7,800. On both of these rallies back over here, where we saw Bitcoin run up to $10,000 and then $8,400, that rally got rejected by the 200 daily simple moving average. We saw right up here, $10,000 got rejected. Down here at $8,400, got rejected. Well, guess what? The moving average that we're looking at to get above and and to start a new rally or to hopefully be one of the confirmations for a new bull run, the 200 daily SMA, is coming up and it's fast approaching and it is curving down, which means every day that we trade sideways, this goes further down and it makes it easier for us to get up to it and get above it. Because if we trade sideways for the next 3 months, this is probably going to be curving down here to somewhere around $7,000. And it's going to be much, much easier to break it when it's lower than it currently is. And it's going to be much, much easier to break it than it was back over here. Let me prove to you why the 200 daily SMA is very powerful, because the last time we saw a bullish break above the 200 daily SMA was right back over here in October of 2015. And you can watch my video in the top right where I explained why October of 2015 was the start of the bull run, which would bring about 100x return. So yes, getting above the 200 daily SMA is, in my opinion anyway, an extremely big deal. And I think we're probably going to do it in the next 3 to 4 months. Does that mean that right now, this day, this very moment, the second you're watching this video is the best time to be buying Bitcoin? No. 2 weeks ago was objectively a better time to be buying Bitcoin because the prices were lower. Are we going to revisit these levels and come down and test $6,000? We may. Will we break them? I don't think so. It's very possible. Anything is possible, guys. Don't go out there and think that I'm just saying, okay, well, Bitcoin's going to go to the moon and that's the end of the story. No. But what I do believe is that $6,000 seems to be a much stronger level than perhaps even I had given it credit for, the perma-bull, quote-unquote, that people think I am. And it does seem to be a very strong level of support. And based on everything I've shown you in this video and many other things I don't have time to get to in today's video, I do think it's going to hold. And I do think the worst case scenario, the worst, most likely case scenario, is that Bitcoin trades sideways for the next 3 or 4 months, guys. I think the bottom is in. I think most of this bear market is over. And I think the bulls are coming back in a big way coming in the next 6 to 12 months. So tell me in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Is Bitcoin about to start a new bull run in the next month? Is it going to take the next 6 months? Are we going to see it when the Bitcoin ETF gets accepted, which the deadline for their acceptance, denial, or their delaying of their request is right here on September 30th. Tell me in the comment section down below, what do you think? What's going to have to trigger the next bull run? Is it going to come naturally? Are we going to see this kind of accumulation phase thing that I just showed you in the video where we may see Bitcoin trading sideways for the next couple of weeks, into the next couple of months? I'm not totally sure what's going to happen, guys. And by the way, no one is. It's just Bitcoin's a market that does Bitcoin likes to do what it likes to do, guys. Bitcoin is a very crazy market. Sometimes it disregards technical analysis, but normally Bitcoin will follow the technicals, and normally Bitcoin will do what I'm showing you that it will do. It will at least respect, if not follow, exactly the things that I just showed you in this video in relation to the 200 daily SMA and other things we've talked about here today, guys. But anyway, guys, like I said, tell me in the comment section down below, where do you think the next bull run is going to be starting? Will it happen here in the rest of 2018? Will we get confirmation of it in this year? Are we going to have to wait for 2019? Also, tell me what you think of the video. I'm trying to, when the market is just kind of trading sideways and not doing anything all that interesting, I'm going to try and start doing some more longer term and also some more trading mindset things. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.